if it was just her forearm, this is as much as I would do. If it was her whole arm, I would wrap all the way up to the top. And then this you can just kind of tuck in to hold it there, so. Okay. All right, so we'll start with the small wrap. When you end the wrap, you can use the clips if you want. However, if the skin is super thin and it's leaking, I use tape. So I always had paper tape present, because you don't put that on their skin, but you're gonna tape it to itself. But you don't wanna risk clipping a patient and then tearing their skin.
Just vascular amputees, never use those.
Yeah.
Never, you will never be invited back. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave a little bit of artiflex showing, and on the hand, if you're not wrapping the hand itself, you wanna make sure that you can get your finger in there, that it's not, you're not pulling it tight at all. She should feel comfortable, it shouldn't feel like her hand's getting big. However, when their arm is hanging down, it's going to, that's human nature, that's how we are made. So that's why you wanna exercise when you have the wrapping on. So the first turn, you're just gonna cover it, then the second one, this is where you're gonna go about 2/3. So a third of it is showing. Your hand's swelling, is that dependent?
I mean, I can feel the
Because you
compression
could,
difference, yeah.
I don't know if I told any of you guys, but my husband fell playing pickleball and broke his arm. And I did this on him. He was charging for a ball. Pickleball? Do you want the
Competitive nature is
Yeah.
showing through.
Radial head fracture while we were on vacation. Okay, so that's the first wrap, okay? So I started distal, so now it's gonna be smaller here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come and start the next wrap.
And again, you can tell she's done this a few million times because it's really consistent in the spacing. You don't want to be aware of wrinkles and
Right,
things.
no.
Yeah.
You can, now the second wrap, if I wanted to, I could start down here. I usually go up a little bit, so because it's gonna be, again, it's more compression, so it pushes that fluid down into the hand, and you wanna really avoid that. So I would start here.
Would you show them how you hold this too? Because I think it makes a difference.
I'm unrolling it, can you see on the camera? You don't want to turn
You
this way.
guys know the whole toilet paper dilemma? There is a right way to do this, regardless of how you feel about the toilet paper roll. So just know, the bundle should be up. Okay, yeah.
So this one, you're gonna go more like halfway. So it's a much less compression as I go up, because they wanna be able to bend their elbow as well. Now, if you had a bunch of extra and you didn't need to go that far, you can still go on up the arm, or you can cut it. It's not a problem to cut, but you don't want to overlap it more just to give more bulk, because this should be much looser.
Yeah, because in real life, we don't reuse these between people. We just
No.
do it for you guys in PT school, so just know we don't. These stay with the patients. If you cut it, it's okay.
Yeah, and when you get your wraps today, these are for you to keep. Hang on until you have the sample. So, all right, so then I would have the patient do, like I would have her do, maybe, I would use equipment. I use like the therapy balls, or just to have them doing something, like we might just be playing toss. So they're doing elbow motion and wrist motion. I may have them do wrist TheraBand, some wrist weights, just motion, yeah. Yeah, play games, get their hands moving, get their arm moving. And I would time that. Usually we have them exercise for about 10 minutes. And then we would unwrap if they were doing more. I mean, if they were gonna do cardio or they're gonna be doing a whole workout, I would just leave it on and let them do a full body activity. But that's how it should look. So the second layer.
Come on, front, you guys can see.
Yes.
Can you avoid like body or clothes chain, like on table?
Well, that does depend on your assessment of the patient. So you're gonna have to use your other knowledge of exercise. That you want active movement at the minimum, that you want movement with the wrap on. That's the point, is that you're getting the external compression and then the muscle pump. So it's giving you that effect. So then if it's tighter distally than it is proximally, you're getting that movement. And you should see a change then when you measure.
So you can see the overlap a little better. It's hard to see on the video.
So remember, bandaging is for reduction. The garments are maintenance. They are not gonna take it down. If somebody says, oh yeah, I use this, I put this sleeve on, well, that's not gonna make it go down. It's gonna keep it the same size. And sometimes these have enough stretch in them that they let it expand. This is the upper extremity, elbow, so it's just for the upper, or you could actually just use for foot, but this is an arm one. Here's a stocking with the open toe. You guys can come up and look at these though, and like you'll be able to tell by the heaviness. And usually most of them will have a tag inside that kind of tells you the amount of compression. But you can tell by looking at it and feeling it how tight it is or how thick. Here's a real heavy duty one, so take a look at these. Oh my gosh, this one, that would be hard for me to get on. I mean, it's thick, heavy duty, and it's got the different directions. This is for somebody with really significant edema. This is the mat. I think this is 49. So, but much thicker, yeah.
And now with something like that, would it be more beneficial to like roll it down, put it on, and then roll it up? Or
Yes,
just, like,
you can donut it, yeah. You can do like a donut roll kind of
Yeah.
thing and then have them pull it up. There are other devices you can use.
We have the shrink donor, or the
Oh.
soft. It doesn't work so great. We have a special tube for amputee. We have a shrinker, which is a version of a compression garment, but because it's closed on one end, it needs a special tube, so you'll see that.
So those are great. You can, and there's like a thing called the slippy gaiter where they just put it on their toe and they wiggle their foot back and forth on this little slippery sheet, and that allows it to work its way up. Some people that'll work with, but yeah, this one would be, you put it around the body part and then you put the stocking over it. Like that, and then you're gonna use the ropes to pull it on. Yeah. Oh gosh, these are so great too, yeah. The hook and the shoehorn, long ones. These are good for total hips too.
Yeah.
And then I just wanna show you real quick the other type of garment. There used to be one brand of these I always used called Circ Aid. Now there are so many of them on the market, but these are the ones that you can just slide the body part in, and then these little strips you wrap around the part to make it, so this would be a lower extremity one, or a large man upper extremity. But you're going to just, there's a sleeve inside, so you'll slip it on like that, and then you'll just pull the wrap tight.
And you only know the size if you measure the patient circumferential measurements, so. I've yet to find someone who's really good at looking at a limb and guessing the circumference of centimeters. I can't.
No.
I'm like, I'm gonna guess it.
I can't, and I've probably treated hundreds of people, yeah. Anyway, but these are always options. There's so many options out there, and you just need to have an awareness of that, because you may have somebody present to you and they'll be like, what can I do to help them? And you recall some of these things, so.